Ahi barakatuhu mnaweka nakola musakera nga nkubuuzaako obadde otya olamu kutwala butya era otambuza otya ensonga nebaza mukama kuba nti akyakuwadde omukka ng'okyassa akyakuwadde obulamu okuba nti okyamoga ng'era okyali mulamu tumwebaze era tumusaba era nga tusa mwaka guno beere nga gutumazaako mirembe ko tukimanyi nti ennaku zino zituuka mu nnaku nga zino eno abantu buli omu abeera ne wasiwasi sipiidi yeeyongera tufuna obenyenga bw'amaanyi nnyo tufuna okweraliikirira naye nno mbasaba buli omu agenda okuba nti ajaganya ennaku enkulu genda mpola kubanga nga 10 January okusoma kugenda kuba kugulawo so school fees beera nga kasente kolinawo kakwata empola kakekkereze osobola okuba nga ozza abaana ku ssomero tali katagemanya program the sharp talk nomukuna Tamale mde tusedda wali mutabani w'omugenzi Yohana mama nkulamusaako era nkwebaza okuba nti nno oli okyalimu kyekuumisa mukama yongera okuba nga nkweba esinga okuba nti byagala bwena ndabako esaazi nokusaba yongera okuba nga otya Mungu omusinze omutendereze omusabe obeere ajja kuba nti akumalira byonna byetaaga okuba nti akumalira naye era mukasanga nga tukyali mu mbeera okuba nti nno tukyali mu muggalo nyongera okuba nga amajiro tebannange obulwadde bweyongedde mu ggwanga kese zirinnya tobenga namanga gasinga gazze kuba nti gadda mu lockdown era gazzemu okuba nti gaggalawo kati netwebuuza muzeeyi Tamale njatandike n'ensonga eyo amanga gasinga gazze okuba nga gadda mu muggalo abazungu bazzeemu mu muggalo omafrika bamwe abayamwe gazzeho kuba tefa bugamba jamani nga 10 tugenda kuba abaana badda ku masomero economy neggulwawo nga mutuufu embeera eri bweti.
For you, there are two factors.
Yep.
Mainly. You don't know what happens in Europe and America during Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas was a pagan day. This is not when Jesus was born.
Okay.
Yes, twazaalibwangako tekiriiyo lwali lunaku lwabasamize nga balusinzizaako katonda waabwe ow'enjuba aleete enjuba kuba winter yali y'amaanyi kati bayimbanga Christmas carols ne bajjayo emisubbaawa babeeranga mu caves kakati Christmas etuuka mu severe winter kati winter eri mu Europe
obunyogovu bubeera bw'amaanyi
nnyo kati abasamize be bakusinzanga ne baluyitirako bannaabwe abasomi abasomi ne baluwamba because of its commercial value muzungu ekintu kyonna ekivaamu sente akitegeera ne lufuuka lw'amaanyi nnyo. There was no way Jesus would have been born during severe winter and the world was colder than now. Abalunzi nga bali batya ku ttale n'ebire tebibeera kiriya emunyenye baligirabye bati
kituufu
ate olina okutegeera ti buli kabaka wa Roma empeera wa Roma yayongerangako omwezi ogugwe kati you have to calculate all of these factors. I agree with the Orthodox. Jesus might have been born in February,
not December.
Kakati abazungu lwa Christmas eyo bategeera balina ba Mirundi baayo bo tebalina force tebalina kuwasuna tebalina kuba bantu miggo bakozesa psychological effect. So kogambe tiwazzewo obulwadde obulala buli effective badde muyinda
yes
banakyakala mu sama
toteekawo maanyi kuba ku bantu miggo kola
yes, that's what they do. Two, I'm still guided by two factors about COVID-19. The statement made by the former Secretary of State of the United States, Pompeo. Pompeo said, unless the Chinese tell us, we shall never find the root cause, what caused COVID-19. Because it started in China, in their research center, this town where it struck,
yes.
But the Chinese are secretive. That's why nobody Pompeo said, unless the Chinese tell us, we are gambling.
Just fidgeting.
Speculation. Kakati ate on World Health Organization we are relying on China that Trump not reducing the money. This World Health Organization man knew. He gave the Chinese more audience and more attention. Trump resulted by reducing
the
U.S. contribution to World Health Organization. Two, eddagala lyonna normal limala emyaka eki
emyaka 2
nga bali
kyagenda through
kyovulaba mwalwanira erat kakati because of pressure ti abazungu bakwatibwa ebintu bibiri ebyakakyusa life ya Europe and America. The terrorist attack Twin Towers. America had to forego their liberties.
Yes.
Nabaga nti omuntu atagenda ngakola under tamanyi kye bayita tubes bazigala. You don't know what it means okugala tubes. Kuba half of the population ebeera mu
ekozesa tubes ezo.
Kakati ekyokubiri COVID-19 exposed. They had forgotten about hospitals. They had forgotten bonga bali mu ntalo. Endwadde zonna
bazimazeewo nga
tetibadde. That's why their hospitals were overcrowded.
Okay.
Ne banoonya bino bye basizaamu nga tebabiina. Baali bamenyi nti a few people come to hospital. In fact, painkillers like Panadol were developed because a doctor cannot remove your tooth. Obawaabira. Kakati alina okumala okunoonya kimuno kyekikuluma ojja muwaabira. So they developed painkillers to give the doctor time to examine.
Amategeerera obuzibuli luddawa.
Kakati amalwaliro ga Europe ne America galundibwanga bwolaba banka. Ti banka bwe bayogeranga nti kyeyakubanga mu mawulire ti banka eno egenda kugwa abantu bonna ne baddukayo omulundi gumu. If everybody goes to the bank to withdraw money, then the collapse.
Era banka ebeerina kugwa bwo.
This is what happened in Europe. There are hospitals.
Okay.
Uganda and crunch, economic crunch. Era nayo bwe yabakwata bweti.
Okay.
Kakati nzire why look at things. Nti why has it come during Christmas? They know. Nti summer building gundi sand building yani they don't have the local defense. Okuba abantu ne bazza mu mayumba.
Yes.
But you must find a scientific way. Nti
waliwo
weevu ki? Endala. Waliwo weevu endala mudde mu mayumba gammwe.
Mukakkane.
Yeah, that's why COVID bwe yajja concentrated on prominent people. Why? Ti bw'oba olaba omuganda akugamba nti bwentu bya Ssematimba n'ekikwabanga abaali abaziranga lwabali adda leero nga nze erulire kawa neeriire n'enywere Queen kamukutte Prince Charles kamukutte Trump ali egundi basitaafu be kabakutte prominent people died, then you scare the population.
True. Olaba kakutte
is no longer money, is no longer prestige, is no longer high positions in the government and society.
Tekisosola kiri atabaala
kati abasoma propaganda ebyo ffe tubikola.
Okay. So kati embeera eriwo eyokuba ensiza amanga gazemu tedisa muna Uganda
Noria yakwata Ssekabaka Muteesa olubereberye yamujja ku Bawalabu. Abawalabu balina speciality one. This is why I tell you Ahmed bin Ibrahim yajja mu 1848 yaleka akoledde abasiraamu kye bataleberawo. Many historians don't look at it. Ahmed bin Ibrahim did not come with religion. He came with the trade. As a result, Muslims are in
the trade.
In the business. Until recently, the Malaysia said, all of the mayors in Babasirам, Abakulia Butadi Babasiram, Abakulia Utoda Babasiram,
transport Babasiram,
Ahmed bin Ibrahim.
A system
yes. At one time, Buganda army, in about mercenaries, Abawalabu.
Buganda
brought to guns here. The Arabs.
Okay.
For trade, protection of Buganda, hunting elephants for tusks. Kakati, olina okukitegeera nti Ahmed bin Ibrahim yaleeta trade. Bano bane baleeta ki? Diini. To train you to work for them. That was the principle. Yet yadda mu masomero missionaries biki. He left everybody to trade. Trade is something that does not need much good until training. Successful businessmen, especially Baganda, Gundi. Kakati ezikubu yaluma Ssekabaka Muteesa olubereberye. There was no medicine for it.
Okay.
Naga nti bufuuse bw'abazira. Yes. bufuuse bwabazira the brave ones kubanga yamulumanga naga nti bano bajja kulowooza ndi munafu but the women with gonorrhea became very expensive nga inenzi kuba munoonya anti ofaanane kabaka
nawe obeere muzira
gonorrhea, when you see a disease that has threatened the society, it requires many names. Sirimu, okusitula ebidomola, embwa yamuluma, kakati kitikutegeeza. N'enziku erina amanya mangi. Abaana bagalye, mukazi yafumbanga emmere. Musajja n'agamba nti mukyala akukawa abaana bagalye sobola kusituka. Obulwadde bwabazira, enjoka ensajja.
Ng'amanya ga kirwadde.
Yes. Kakati Abaganda bakuyininga a proverb. If you fear to acquire gonorrhea, will you marry your mother? Yes. The Baganda see, if you fear gonorrhea, are you going to marry your mother?
No.
Because the only person you know that is safe is your mother.
Is your mother.
Using your father. Sinatobwa abatalinaanze kubeekwatanga ku bitooke. Zalina ebika. Waliwo olubuuza eggali yanakwata akagundi. Very painful. Until the Baganda discovered supu w'emmamba ne muzuukizi.
Supu w'emmamba oyo akola nnyo ku nsonga eyo. Okay.
Kakati kyenkugamba. Na bano abeewaffe era akaayi. AIDS bwe yajja baaga abalimba jja mu lubaawo. Aluddayo. Because if we fear ekiri atabaala kyekisigadde nali. That's why Muganda says ekiri atabaala kirya n'asigadde eka. If you go to war, by the time you come back after the war, are there no deaths recorded in the village? Kakati that's a issue of desperation. Me cannot be desperate.
Okay.
Nti if there is no proper cure, everything that has been done develop negative effects. Are we not going to take children to school?
That's a question of Umuganda
the economy. Umuganda yakubuuza tibonoti enzuko n'owasako. If you fear to acquire gonorrhea, then it means you are forced to marry your mother because the only woman you know it is safe.
Is your mother. So not for to choose one. Bunatyo okufa tetukulego aigwanga te
era neewunyiza nnyo waliwo omwana wange gye yagenza okufuna ekifo ne bagamba nti nsasule 4 million ettaamu
4 million
nga yekyaliko ti even if school is close sente zazisigaze
4 million
ntya
Mzee Tamale, that is the country Uganda gye tulimu.
Ati nkubuulira because this is what we must safeguard against. Our children not going to go to school. I was
10th January, Minister of Yatugamba.
Bigirimana, bamuwadde honorary degree, PhD, because they said is a civil servant with a private sector mind.
Okay.
Bagambye nti as COVID was ravaging countries, we saw a huge construction in Kampala. Eyabalamuzi. Nebigirimana bali bamugobye nga bamulwanisa. Yes. That's how I help for people. Naye Bigirimana yagambye bwe yabadde yatulesinze life ye. When I grew up, my father used to escort me to a primary school for fear that wild pigs will kill me. Hey, kitabu yamuwerekera
ku ssomero.
This is what we should do. This is what, because it is ekintu kyonna kyolabanga fe mu Baganda tutya muteego because muteego oli bwakukola abaana n'abazzukulu. But it restricts yourself to you, to the family.
Yeah.
Once you see something ravaging the whole world, then it means is everybody buli bwongo bwa muntu bukoze eki. Learn how to exist in it.
Embedded weno nakwegasa bigambo bya minister byagambye nti embedded neriwo igenda kuba tigana economy okuggulwa so bana Uganda abazamu subinti babere
but we must protect ourselves.
Yes, because the number zikurizinga
tuganye government eganye deliberately eganye okunegotiatinga ne banks.
Yes.
Bajeko amasomero gano. Why should Museveni pump money in Uganda Development Bank? Zibabirayo busy. It should be stimulated. World Bank erase $1 billion budget. World Bank erase $1 billion budget. Why don't you help schools?
Amasomero genyini bagagambe kasaleko kusente. Abana bademu abageze mu senior 3. Tibasasula first term.
How? Because when these people talk, they are out of touch with the population. This is the problem. Okay. They are out of touch with the population. Many people invested in schools because Museveni changed the attitude of people to education.
Yes.
By the time I grew up in the 60s, ngabana babagaga tebasoma. After all, why do I go to school when I have money? Eranga abasoma baavu. Educated ones.
Okay.
Kakati the trend has changed. Everybody is struggling to ensure that omwana
wagenda ku ssomero.
Kakati bo nababuuza nti exposing abantu bano abali mu government, the planners, is that whenever you enable these results, waliwo omwana wa minister asinga.
Tetumulaba.
Bonna basiru. It means that abaabo tebali wano eno. Tebali mu Uganda.
Bana gye basomera ewalala.
Era international schools zibadde zisoma. Emuli abaabo.
Yoze boba ge.
Emuli abaabo. Abaze ebita tebakyamanyi byawano. Tebabitegeera nti omukulu w'essomero yeewola ssente mu banka.
Era onagula obwati banka itali kukola.
Banka nga ye ssente zikola.
Ng'etega ngalo. Yakasikubiza tukola kwa
account ya banka. Why is the government not interested in helping the teacher, the schools?
The schools.
Is because the bank, those who have stolen money during the COVID are using it to grab these buildings.
Bali muze byaga bagende kompola
Abaganda bakugamba nti omukazi asirize entamu si bino byemwogera bino byagundi teriyo Muganda, that is ebyaye nti omukazi asirize entamu emmere ewunye yagikombere mu fumbiro
muleme kulyako.
Kakati these people bo bafuna ddaabo, they are the planners of government, the strategists of government, they benefit to ones that. Are you saying that those schools are going to be transformed into other bagala kulondia mumbizi? They remain schools. What is going to change is the hand, the ownership.
Yes.
Babigule. And they will get money bamaze obigula bana amalo obigula ejja kulya nti government esonyi amasomero se.
Minister of Education mama eggwanga alirumirirwa era nga yagala nnyo abaana okuba tebasoma. Kyo tukino tabimanyi.
Let me tell you, a honest man, President Museveni, Mama Janet, and that generation ba Uganda tebamanyi baana bano bye bazanyi. Is it their generation? A mafia does things beyond human imagination. Omwezi, omusiru, omubbi, ne sabotua, ne terrorist bakola ebintu byebimu. You cannot understand it.
Okay.
Kakati, these people, abatali ba generation yen, tebategeera ba mafia. Nti I came up and said the people being killed in hospitals, those who are taken to Arab countries are killed and their organs extracted. And one of the leading hospitals where they killed my daughter is Sir Albert Ku. Nabagamba, could anybody believe that the Chinese are operating in Sir Albert Ku? Tewali abadde akisobola nti omuntu addira abaana b'abanne ne batunda ekibanja kyabwe oba poloti n'abatika ku nyonyi ng'agenze batta. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Tekirowooza namu ti people abagagga ennyo abalina buli kantu konna ate batta n'abantu mu malwaliro.
Essaawa zino abantu bateekateeka kuba nti amasomero gaggulawo bagatwale.
Yes. Kakati Sirinye Museveni. The intelligence, you don't have political intelligence. Two, era ne bwe bawaaba bano baabafuga mafia mu gavumenti ya Museveni mulimu bbiri. Nti bakola ebintu byatasobola kukola. Bakola ebintu bayita bitegeera. So a generation yabo. Museveni is not a mafia. If you are not a mafia, you cannot understand mafias.
Go bategeera.
Nze mbategeera.
To
solve this issue, nabagamba ti ku mulembe gw'Obote buli wakusatu amasomero one twalina tata schools nga buli ssomero libateekawo bali wa tata Western Uganda benefited why
jenasomero lyakasinga tata najireka jeri
but buli wakusatu amasomero gangendanga mu Ministry of Education negafuna obwenyanja negafuna yellow maize negafuna beef lero neziddayo where is it now and Obote was controlling a small economy
kituufu
what happened era one of the ekyaleta strike yeekako oyo Ssenyonjo Christopher yagoba omusajja nga mukiga bamuyita Kisiiza nga tabba nga abaana balya bulungi n'amugjawo n'aleeta omukulu w'essomero gwanabba naye ebintu bimala kutuukira Masaka n'abitunda abaana kwekwokyeza baali bamusse yali yasima ekinnya mu nnyumba n'adduka kakati if you talk about schools reopening too nabagamba we would have an engineering department from the army because we trust the army nabagamba nti mu Uganda musigaddemu institutions ezirina credibility Museveni ne army.
Museveni is an institution as a president.
Yes, I regard him as an institution.
Okay.
Remember, guy, look, engineering department, yeah, army, muji wa assignment, egende kebere structures zonna. But nija kuba abana. Emisota jiri mu binya. When you talk about schools, you don't know. Emisota mu ejiri ani abifuyidde. Ebisije bino nyumba yonna bwe batirimu bantu egwa
bwekiri.
Angulagwa nga batta abaana ti Museveni assa abaana
kituufu
ebitebabikebera nga bafunayo gwe bakwatayo
kituufu.
What exposes the Minister of Education is the construction of the school in Tanzania. The school was constructed by State House engineers.
What
Museveni provided for 5.6 tell us
mukaluka campaign
yomukungiriza wano at 4.6 but what is embarrassing
na munyinga kuoli natuchanga tuli mukasala
kandi mukazi oba amuyisa okufumba emmere ku mbaga emmere newooma nnyo
ngewakati wooma
ekitegeeza sabotage sabotage.
You promised us a school at every parish nga tuli mu campaign nga muli munonya kalulu kicholinga wa future tetugalabako gali Tanzania
era kyembaga nti abo bakatagamba sekerera. You are fighting Kenya for rejecting your commodities. The battle is not in Kenya.
Vice versa.
They have extended their marriage. Nabagamba waliwo omunene wano yakwata golodi we nga ddala golodi n'amutwala mu simerating gundi Entebbe ku airport. We have the best simerating gold gundi. Bagenda muteeka mu box nga yabadde omutuufu Kenya n'emugoba bamukwatanga mufu. Who has access to the simulating machine?
Abakulawo
Kasooli bwe bagoba yali avuddewa oli ya boss nga mu recording zenina. May I do business on pure gold? Ajja kundaba yaneereegamu. There are two people fighting and they are not far from Museveni.
So Honorable Kadaga is missing the point.
Anti Mumulo was anti-Kenya rejectees, and I'm telling you, I have already written a book how we should prepare for the Uhuru presidency.
Hey.
Yes.
Uhuru is becoming the president?
Laira president.
Laira?
Yes. They uprooted the red line. He had into Uganda. Why? Laira blamed us for okulemeza Uhuru ubundi Kibaki. And you see, for me, I laugh at these intelligence organizations. Bokede published a story about the Kabaka where he distributed limousines to 18 Saza chiefs. What's the origin of this man? Do you remember that Raila came here to operate at their function where they had not invested in Museveni?
Nchijukira bulungi.
Museveni had to maneuver overnight. Raila nga yamusanze.
Origin yeyo.
For me, I help you. I look far. I have said Museveni should prepare for a hostile Raila.
Okay.
Because Museveni has this problem of, we call it the Lucifer theory. Lucifer theory, political science, twachijja mu ddiini. Nti Lucifer yali malayika mulungi nnyo mu ggulu.
Yes, bwekiri.
Nga Katonda
amwagala nnyo.
Yamwefuulira.
Bwekiri.
Whoever Museveni has helped turns against him.
Ndigwagambye nti nno
Raila escaped from committee. N'akwata Lake Victoria. The moment he landed into our territory on Lake Victoria, he was helped by our security people.
Okay.
Muhwezi was in charge of that operation. Received Raila at Uganda. Wolomusu went to war with Kenya. Ngamuyayagala Raila Day. Museveni said,
no.
I made a mistake of handing over 3 people to a country he did not name. They were killed. They will never hand over
any other person.
I give you free. No gain. Nera ira yagala Museveni. Kakati ekyo nakyo mukitegeere.
Okay.
The battle in Kenya over your commodities does not originate in Kenya.
In Kenya.
Abakenya babatwalayo amagye amavundu. Abakenya be batwala amagye amavundu. Abakenya be batwalayo egundi kasooli omuvundu. Oba yava wa.
Weewaawo. You
have extended your mercy. When these malicious people are fighting, they don't look at the personal interests and the national interests. That it will take a time for Kenyans to accept your maize.
Kituufu.
Bumulwana bwemulwana. Bwemutyo bwemulwana.
Ewo Mzee Tamale nga nsonga tugivaako. Akalulu kabadde kayunga.
Yes.
Kyafumbye nga bukimu kyaniiguse.
Nze neewu.
Era twageza okumekeeza nga NRM.
Kyeneewuunya. Kyeneewuunya kiri kimu. Ekintu ekineewuunyisa nti bagamba nti abasomesa political science is not a science. Political science is a science. These are political scientists.
Okay.
And the difference between a political scientist and a natural scientist is the variables we use.
You use, okay.
A political scientist is more scientific than a natural scientist.
Natural scientist.
Kubanga bakulaga weather forecast. Timpewo egenda kuva eno eddeeni. Waliwo akigula. But a political science uses human beings as variables. Nti mu Europe bwe bakuga nti buli yagenda okuwangula yabagenda okuwangula. Because they depend on the factors.
Okay. Okay.
Kakati nkugamba nze ngenda ne mbawandiikira obutabo ne beewuunya. Nawandiika akatabo kange kano invisible hand. Nabaga nti invisible hand mulimu omuntu
omukono ogutalabika.
Mulimu omuntu akolera mu gavumenti ya Museveni.
Naye nga talabika.
Era nakati mwali.
Ito twatumanyi yavaawo kati.
If you want to have a peaceful election, remove Dombo.
Is the invisible hand?
Once Dombo is removed, there will not be violence.
Mzee Tamale
Dombo is an agent of somebody. I know
Dombo yakajja.
You go and ask Dombo. I saw Dombo when he was working in Karisis, in my village. I even talked to him.
You saw him?
I know Dombo. If you want a free, violent election, remove Dombo.
Ave mu kalulu.
Ave mu kalulu. Museveni yamugalireko ebweru. Amugane mu kalulu. You will see change. Kubanga gamba nti who loses?
Mumbere neriwo.
Can't we have a violent free election?
Bantu bakubiddwa emiggo.
Yes. And you are helping who? Kakati nkugamba. Like a human beings, political organizations are attacked by their enemies on a daily basis. It's the level of early detection of an organization that saves it from its enemies. The institution should create an early warning mechanism as well as a quick response one in order to survive. Political institutions suffer from what we call political inertia. They develop weaknesses. They are like human beings who have to observe a high level of hygiene to avoid falling sick. Furthermore, political institutions are like human beings who must ensure self-preservation. Once a human being or an institution succumbs to death, then it ends its living cycle. If a political institution loses political preservation, it dies like a human being whose defense systems succumbs to disease. Finally, and more important, political organizations must have detective systems to check the internal enemies and the external ones. Internal enemies used to sabotage or destroy political organizations. Museveni went to the bush to fight election rigging. It would be a taboo omuziro in Museveni's government. Where did this kubba bululu start? Okubba obululu okulira mpandi kwatandika mu kalulu ka 2011. Nkugamba, losing by election. Look what this Mirundi's son. People say this man is a drunkard. The drunkard has defeated the 4 years.
19th July.
Nabalabye jonga bagandi omusajja tumugambye ayite omusajja aganye yatugambye tayagala nakutulaba. You started the battle, finish it. Mwali mulowooza nti muli bagezi nnyo. I was watching from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday tomorrow. They will be giving evidence on Zoom. And I was watching a meeting in the State House where they asked, what if this man has video clips? I have them, but I'm mature. Sisobola. Nemwatira omwana wange mwali batikuku, I've exposed the batikuku. There was at that time a Chinese cell. Babuloni nga kigudde, Babuloni, Babuloni, Babuloni nga kigudde. Mama ndi mu programu kakubire. Babuloni nga kigudde. Kakati nkubuulira ate gundi alubati kuku kugwanga Babuloni. Nkugamba. Otera nakawandika ddi?
19th July 2012.
Losing by elections. The NRM was a number of and winners. Secondly, for a ruling party to lose a by-election doesn't necessarily mean losing support. Where the ruling party registered the majority of seats in parliament, the voters may decide to check it by electing opposition candidates in the subsequent elections. Museveni kye bamukola red paper is do or die in Kayunga. Either we lose or they get. What is in Kayunga? These are money makers. The dombos, the money makers. Because a ruling party cannot fail to win a by-election for two factors. One,
LC 5 seat. Next to the Prime Minister. Next to the President. What you from Museveni can accept Nabu Kenya, who organized a birthday party for Museveni, a fake one, a rotten cake, rotten mangoes, rotten pineapples, and Museveni considered the defeat when Nabu Kenya won the way by election. He is also the incumbent MP for that area. Yes.
Can you compare, apart from having a gold mine in those areas, they have not declared, ask in Nankabiro, whether there is no largest is in a forest, to wait agana kusima.
But Kayunga,
yes, and this man, Aliye Kayunga, Kajja Kola, Muganda wakuwasiza omukazi oba omugagga yenna, nakuwasiza omukazi amuzaalamu n'abaana. This man who is unpopular has been installed.
Muwonge.
Tagenda kufuna maanyi. Bajja kubanga amasimu. Bajja kubanga amasimu. Kakati bavudde ku interest za party. Two, nalabye omusajja we Kayunga oyo aladisi. If lions have been caged, how can a rat shout? Nanya Bobby Wine could I was the chairman of the electoral commission. When did he assume those powers? The media Kawempe Sama, the Bubali Kampala was a Japan Kampala. Those are dangerous fellows. The Dombos, away again. Tibamatia Bere Kosi. Bore Bakankana.
Bakandi for sanction.
Uganda Kayunga.
Abantu basibiddwa.
Takati nkugamba.
Mzee Tamale, NUP agenda mu court.
For example, Singaporean Prime Minister Kwan Liu states in his book that Singapore, the opposition in Singapore, tweaked his party when they did not defeat the candidates in many constituencies, and the ruling party MPs went through unopposed before the actual general elections. This sent alarming messages to the voters that the ruling party would lack checks in the parliament. And therefore, on election day, the voters returned the few opposition candidates who stood The opposition trick worked perfectly well. The voters voted the opposition to retain checks in parliament and to avoid a single party arrangement in case the ruling party took over parliament.
Okay.
Ate basoma balina obudde baavu. Kati oyo talina no control ali tasomanga na political science. Tamanyi international nababuuza nti mutubuulire. Police in a library side. There are similar cases. That's why I admired it to Mukunda. Whenever I went to Mukunda, I found him reading his Mossad books.
Okay.
Cases are similar. Twaina wano omusajja ku gundi ku WBS nga kuliko omusajja Dr. Derrick. Babiteekanga kusomesa ki. Bano abaawa n'abatasobola ku accessinga that information.
Okay.
Kakati Singapore baateekawo okulonda. Ku nomination day of opposition constituency ne bazireka. Ezimu ne bayita mwana opposite. The population was alerted. If we don't vote the opposition people, but bagenda kudominate.
Dominating.
The election date waliwo government yayitamu. Yes. Bapulaninga. Tituyinza kudya. In fact, even in law, a party that has already secured the 2/3 majority, there is no judge, sensible judge, as well as kujeba. This one has already secured.
NRM yajanyiza negamba nti nga kitwabye Kayunga kisigenda okubeera mu bagenda mu election kirina okubeera mu komansimbi okubeera emitirana
areetunga omukazi yeewaana namufinyisiza n'olubuto namusiize n'enziku but you are accumulating evidence against you nti these people are exposing you. NRM that went, these are not Museveni supporters. Whoever is doing this is not Museveni supporter.
NUP egamba tekalukabiddwa.
Yes, obviously.
Okikiriza.
Obviously. Ati kasookola ebyo ebyobusiru. Ate express ye timu ekuba amayinji. Omupiira referee asala mu halali ate ekuba amayinji. Why do you rape a woman? Can you rape a prostitute when you have money? Have you ever seen Bad Black claiming, lodging a rape case in any court of law?
No.
Yes, you cannot rape a prostitute because voters are like prostitutes. You deliver the services. Naye sente muzibbayo kati kambabuuzi magezi bye yagamba nti mu Paris model kuliko billion bwezi. Where is the money that is reflected in Kayunga? Kubi mwali bedimulaga abantu n'abakoba nakola brand ey'okubiri. You are choosing the Uganda Land Board, yes, of evicting people. Olaga ebyapa byavudde ku kyapa kyani.
Byapa 10 biramba.
Anti byavudde ku ttaka lyani. Because if government wants to buy land, the landlord comes, they send their government values the land, compensate that man.
Yes.
Kati government n'abakoba would start by stating us twaguze ettaka mu Kayunga muno ne landlord n'avaayo kati abasenze tubawe ebyapa ne landlord n'atuwa a copy of the check.
Yes.
Bulanda yakoleddwa garage in garage out.
ne mzee Tamale bwobanga gwe President Museveni mukasera kano otudde mu ntebe nga wasingize tiimu yokukola tufunga ne bwogwa nti yagenze yakuliza mzee Tamale Museveni yagenze Kayunga n'ofusinga ne imagine ya bululu 5 just
Museveni ayina abamukoleramu baddumbu bakolera ddumbu ayina omukozesa era buli ddumbu gy'anaagenda wajja kuba violent and his people rejected him long time ago. You are dealing with the reject. Ddumbu ayina yamuteeka waawo. He is the cause of violence. Nkugamba in this case even the popular ruling party candidates who did not go through unopposed lost to the opposition. Secondly, ruling party supporters voted the opposition because they believed that their party's survival had already been preserved. Why do you kill people when you have already got? Until by-election yombaka parliament, NRM is do or die. Majority. How? Ndio msajja ina bakazi abana yakote house. Kakati ani agenda kusonyiwa tewali agenda kusonyiwa kakati nkugamba nti the results the supporters of the ruling party decided not to turn up for the earlier results had already showed their confidence that their party had already won and the opposition that feared the unchecked dominance of the ruling party turned up in large numbers. Nekugamba another situation where bano bali tudde wansi ne babala nupu yabakubaitya mu Buganda ne gundi a storm erekamu wayimiridde how could you be swept throughout Buganda ate n'omwana eyayita mwana oposta tafichalinga
NRM is claiming banasigala okweddiza Buganda banandikidde kayunga mulepinga bakazi rape, this was open rape and Museveni cannot support this. Heads will roll in the Are you sure? Seems like you know comment about
you're again the violence. Yes. The problem is Dombo Inamu Koliram.
Okay.
Kugamba. Another situation is where the ruling party is given a blank check because of the prevailing political environment. Politics at times is a love relationship. Love suffers from diminishing returns. In his book, Julius Caesar Shakespeare tells us that when love starts to sicken and decay, it uses an enforced ceremony, which is forceful writing. Take for example, 1986 to 90, the NRM was given a blank check by the population.
Blank check? Just automatic?
Yes. Yes. But I know as a political scientist that when you overstay, system overstays in power, it develops political inertia. Okay. The NRM was given a blank check by the people of Uganda who had borne the atrocities of Obote and it was governments. At that time, the NRA was dominated by the Baganda and the Banyankole. The NRA separate from ministers who came from other tribes was dominated by those from the bush. The NRA was also dominated by Banyankole. This explains why people like Dr. Alex Ofumbi, who was running a clinic at Lyantonde and Okecho, Dr. Bata took center stage because they were not from Buganda or Ankole. These and people like Teddy Wamusi gave the NRM the national outlook on addition to this ideology. Although the NRA said the members of Hamba Education, this was not considered a serious matter at this time. Soldiers became Abana Bafe. Nobody at this stage had the time to waste by looking at the shapes of their noses. These were non-issues at the time. Uganda had more important issues occupying their minds. Abantu bakuwa blank check.
Yes.
NRM was given a blank check. By the population.
Yeah.
Ngobibula mu ntibi Banyankole sonyi bechiko bindi arudda. Uwa. Ngati wali.
Kasojera ku tiketi NRM. Tumaze kubaza okubantu oyingidde.
Nekugamba point eyokubiri ekulaga nti NRM was given a blank check. A blank check at that time. This explains why no one in Rwanda officers occupied very important government posts which did not attract attention from the public. They had other important things that occupied their minds then. These simple matters which have taken center stage today. However, by 1996, things had changed. Obubbi. Kubanga golowooza, bano balowooza. Tibwe babba ssente za service delivery bajja bakuba emiggo. Toyinza kugamba nti Museveni abawadde ssente mugule ennyama n'ebyokulya nti abantu bawe walagi tufisse. The Greekers will fight you. Violence. The source of violence is that the money that Museveni gave these people for service delivery in these areas has been taken. As a result, bakubi.
Kati gentumulimu katugenda tudda tumenso kutomatino NUP egenda kudukira mu court esubireyo ki bwazimana bwenkanya oba
ngenda kubuulira wano
kale tomo ko Steve katukomeo katono nnyo TV tuwe nali makago ngina kutobira buli mudiro lyobuli kubokolera na wali ku Facebook oba ku YouTube otugobera gwebaza nyenda kubaza omukulu Albert okuva effort photo otugobera bonyera musaba mungu aberenga akwachusibwa obugera omuno omukulu Samuel okuva mu diaspora wamu n'omukulu Sula Mahad mu UAE munamina bibazo okuba twe muri mutuninze mukugobera omukulu no Albert yono agamba tosubizo okubantu teko batawo online babwetaga bwa kutabwetaga benga osobola okufuna
bajja kufuna
agambe songa gikole nega
kati nkugamba tunulira wano nti bano bamunda babikola to embarrass government. These are inside yes babikola having just taken the money nga sente bazibye kati batute 5 nga billion ogenda kubala banga bagula amayumba
ebizibe ngene byali sente okustuka
mbone bani n'abakunzani even hired mercenaries We must make ourselves relevant to Museveni. You are spoiling Museveni's record. How the people who write Museveni's legacy, Museveni the revolutionary. When I look at it, I find the time to defend. An informer, Nganza Mani, Tababikola, Siba Museveni. No, they're hiding and stop dragging the army into these things. Balina gwe baagala babulakalistinge. Yes. Kakati nkugamba nti akalulu akaabwe kennyini invisible hand yakoonoona Museveni aveeko. Akaabwe kennyini aka 2010 internal party elections. Nakuwandika ne gamba. For example, heaps of NRM ballot papers were sold openly in Kampala from the committee's offices and homes of the members of the committee. Omukazi Simaiba Mutangani was a Mugis woman. Over the year, Yariamulis disappeared like a gonorrhea. I don't see where she is. Magoma, Bajakawaka Choka Magoma. Kabo will come at Nkogam. The heaps and homes of members of the committee. The price ranged between 5 million and 10, depending on the competitiveness in a particular constituency. Secondly, the ballots were printed by the New Vision, and surprisingly, the management did not come out to explain the source of these heaps and heaps of ballot papers on the market. The printer had an obligation to protect the ballot. Amazingly, the NRM Electoral Commission did not come out to explain the source of these ballot papers. In Uganda, for example, it took weeks for the NRM members to receive the ballot papers, in spite of the fact that a member of the committee, Jerry Kayonde, hails from this area. The only answer to this was to undermine Karule Sengo, who was tussling it out with the incumbent Mrs. Muyinda. This confusion was deliberately done by an invisible hand. In their desperation, those NRM members who had lost sold to the NRM card, solicited support from NRM big wigs. This was intended in the process. The determining factor as to who would get the party card moved from the election process to individuals at the party headquarters. No tango to wakola. Basoka kuno nakaba. Kuba bagala kukotolinga basitugizi ngo bebatadde jindi. Look what ichotera zenyi bagamba. Gundi Kayanja yagala okufuga district. Ngabaleeta basema kula bandi bamulinda. Fall to him. Omuntu asomala mujjayo. This is the problem with the people choosing successors. But president wonna. Yes. Obata kyamufuga wants to be his own man. Kakati bayagala kusuula kasolo baleeta owaabwe has never uttered a word in parliament. Nga bagala kutunda ettaka ly'essango bbe. Kati what is happening? Gundi Kisekulu naye bwe yalabye nga baagala okubba ettaka lya district. District yeyagala okudeveloping. Bakutte muganda wa Kisekulu nti ayambala ebyambalo by'amagye n'akola road block. Tumwebeze naye mwana gwe towummula. Oyina ebizibu bingi. Ate era nejjute likooti mulenzi gwe wakitova waffe ku ttaka ly'essango bbe. Nako mubalekera abewaffe bakalye. Yes.
Okay.
Ate kati bagamba ngo batwalayo balaalo. That's where I put Museveni.
Kusango be.
Nti Museveni yawamba ettaka atwaleyo abalaalo.
The issue was bantu kuvaako basimbeko ebinazi.
Egombolola y'ekabira ejjudde awo.
Egombolola namba.
Eyekabira. Ekabira. Owangulayo Museveni. Ekabira. Nga bwolaba Lwera bw'atambula bw'ati atuuka e Tanzania. Egombolola y'ekabira yonna these are cattle keepers.
Okay.
You can think that you are in Mbalala. Mbakai. Ekochi. 60%. Bagundi. Abakochi bakolanga 55% about 60. 40 bachi. So when these people talk, you don't need to transfer Balalo to Sango Bay. You need to mwebaza. Oba Museveni. Oba tumweda abazungu kabatwale tumwebaza. Kubanga tumwebaza ajonze ewaabwe yonna Museveni tamunya. Abemiryango balita. Ayi sisike kwate kutumwebaza awumule. Kati nkugamba nti abaali baagala pati kadi y'NRM ate baalaga wamu mwe bakoze akavuyo bennyini. Naye nkugamba nti the loser in all of this is the national chairman Museveni.
President.
Yes. It is not because Museveni is not easy as accessed. This worked in favor of those. It normally works in the favor. Ndumano kuba sente dombo na duka ne munne sente ne gingi zasika de Kampala. Dombo na duka ne munne dombo ye program kusakoite. That's why the election results were tight. That's not what you were saying?
Yes.
The reason for this is that both the candidates, the official, and the independent were both sponsored by the invisible hand. This explains why Parliament, after, wanted to usurp the powers of the president. In many cases, the official NRM candidate, the so-called independent, and the opposition belong to NRM.
The official NRM candidate, the independent,
yes,
and the opposition.
Babi NRM.
Echabade Kayunga.
Babi NRM, in all cases. Nimba factions baveni. Nantaba, how could Nantaba sponsor a campaign? I know sentiment.
Yabadi ne majidi walieri. Sente zabadi zize.
Andi nkubuli zivaawo.
Zara tumutunye.
Kakati nkugamba. Nti bano bonna babeera ba financing wa government. This was intended because whoever won would pay allegiance to the financiers, not to Museveni.
To the financiers.
The rules. That's why they decided to form NUP, to have an NRMB which is not controlled by Museveni. The Museveni bw'abayita bano abalagira mu caucus. Katika bakolewo eyaabwe yatalagira mu caucus. Nino ye yaabwe.
Mzee Tamale, you're confusing the nation. NUP is NRMB. Nakwede yabade NRMB. She's going to court.
Let me tell you. It also explains the attitude of the current parliament to the president. It was hijacked on the election day by people who wanted to stop President Museveni before 2016. The fact the candidates who were loyal and committed to the president were financially starved, and their rivals, including opposition candidates, were given massive financial support by them. Responding to this outcry from the victims of the deliberate elimination exercise discussed above, the president appointed the Kigongo team. He also sacked the Magoma team. However, the Kigongo team could not repair the damage. In a few cases, elections were repeated, but even those who came were part of the original scheme. They were financed by the invisible hand. This is comparable. What Museveni did to appoint the Kigongo committee and the Uganda committee was comparable to a parent who wants a pregnant daughter against the bad boys. The advice comes too late because she has already conceived. It seems those behind the scheme read properly the president's mind and put up remedies in case any intervention was made. The elections had been properly and scientifically rigged. The majority of those who secured the NRM party cards were supported by the invisible hand that I pointed out earlier. Even those in opposition and the independent all belong to the same group. Realizing that the invisible hand had Museveni yaleta Kigongo committee katika ina vyako. Kakati today, these people bafunamu.
Okay.
Why? Nti bafunamu Bobi Wine yajja kubamulisa. And these people fall into Bobi Wine's trap.
But our government? Yeah.
Bano siba Museveni. Bano banda mayininga Museveni na Muhoozi.
Bakuba kintu kukiyiwa. Technically.
Nga Museveni tasobola kuleta successor awunye. Yes. Era Museveni took a tactic move okujja abamiri ekyambadde n'abayita ekyankwanzi. To deny these people, to deny a possibility of forming another split in the party.
But our advisors.
Nabo babadde bagenda kubuuza bagambe nti ekyatuwanguza kyali ki kwesiba kw'NRM. Ye family ekyambadde had crossed
nadda eri ku NUP
era
singa kyali mubaka
tebalina candidate nti oleta America kyambadde n'omuleetako y'omwana
nedda era singa yagamba nti ticket
naye omwana was sponsored by people in the government. Somebody had the list has kyambadde been defeated olwena ali mu yennyini
nga yabuuza
lwaki Muwanga Kivumbi yayitamu ebutambala against Kikulukuunyi supported by Kigongo. They wanted to humiliate Kigongo. Bato terina bwalala.
Yes,
kale bano abaana bwe bagenda okufuna mu kiri kimu nti bano abali mu gavumenti tebamanyi nti bakolera bano. Tebamanyi nti bakolera bano nti tudde zaake yavudde ne mu nnyonyi ne mu nnyonyi yali akebera ku ssaawa tasanga
ngakawedde yavudde mu misimbo.
Yes, why? He knew nti erinnya lye likola
ayina okubeerayo
era ye teyakwatiddwa
naye akubiddwa embego
kyebaagala
yayina kukubwa
anti ne kyebaagala kiri kimu to discredit is the same Museveni who went to the bush to fight for freedom to fight against rigged elections.
Gwe neewunyiza ate abadde ate nga neiba ye Betikam gundi namboze bakireke
anti yagendayo era bamukootinga nnyo ng'oti kasula bamonita gwekootinga namboze nadde eno kati Segerinya yalagawo Segerinya kawamukadde Segerinya ate lwa Segerinya era ne bobaawo babuddenga bano open indicators. If the Segerinyas were not behind ebijambi, are they there? They arrested eliminated ebijambi nabamu ebyo badde yogera busumenya accident kasana kuba supply nekuba mu Pakistan yabitwalanga ebweru container eri mu Uganda wano yalemerawo ujala ba accident. Yes, olaba abakazi abafanga bazanga yes singa mubenje fika salama ne budde abasajja bwa busipa ne butwale entweza abo mubugenza kutonera tingagu ngera bano bwe bawa sente
mzee Tamale.
So therefore
judiciary eri ku test
not eri ku test
musangugenze mu court
judiciary
Uganda
akalukabiddwa bagambi nti omusajja bya godi Simon Byani oyo chairman of the extra committee
yabakama
isn't a fool. Byabakama goes there staff your boxes he records for future sine kya bakola ate bakuba Bobi Wine bamukubira ku godi ya resigning naye kyali kikolebwa okwo you don't even respect nga omuzikiti gugiramu engatto esaba bajjamu engatto you cannot even respect the premises of the electoral commission. Electoral commission nekiriyalinga Bobi Wine for consultation
nemukube emigo
nemukube resigning.
What is he doing?
He documents you.
Okay.
Kuba yabakolera nga DPP nateekako Besigye omusango kakati n'ategeera yava mu political line ti bwebakolya abantu tebasasula ate was built there by a certain faction. Now you know.
Okay.
Yes, tiyajja mukuba emigo gyammwe n'alikodinga n'akolaki kakati bano ekizibu kibagenda okubeera nakyo there are 3 courts.
Okay.
NRM is going to be tried by 3 courts. They have lost in the public court.
Public court yo.
Bagenda bakwata NBS ne bajiwa center muri ngono bali aliya kutikomu nibamuwa center kalista najoga abantu bonna nafuuka ne returning gundi onakulimba jajjiga kalista TV ya jajjiga afuuka returning office nafulibya ne zizasinga balate banaze forum bamu bakolera kakati government has lost in the public
court
bonna bamanyi nti akaluka akoze kabiddwa
broad daylight
tu era gwe obagamba otya nti abazungu bagenda ku airport ne bakugamba nti if we find unattended to baggage will be destroyed limuna akwata ogugwe naye gwosanga otya omugwe ogutaliiwo. Why is it that teri success teri demonstrations tumuwadde baba tumuwe naye kukunyinga omu
teri ajaganya
naye kukunyinga omusuma
talabikanako
tasobola disitulikiti ejja mulema kakati that's one. Two, these people olwokuba baagala kusikurizinga Museveni ebyo byonna ebifaananyi babikwata ebifaananyi by'abakubi b'emigga abapoliisi nalaba omukazi nga bamukuba emboovu namukazi mugumu alina akabina kanene kubanga yatambula butambuzi n'agenda teyekwata nannyo oba yali ataddeyo nti nali musajja sitabuni nnyo ku ssomero ng'ate abasomesa tebakimanyi nze nali nasaladde eddiba lyange ery'embuzi nga nditeeka mu mpale yange okubemba oko nebukabwobusibye naye naye omukazi gwe bakubye embogo buli omu n'abalaba mu derayiti
ensi yonna naye yakiraba omukyala yakubira embogo
kambabuuzi mwakwata abaana bano pulezidenti abagambangako nti mukwate abaana banuubu pulezidenti bamulimba all intelligence organizations batula wansi nebafumba ekintu kyabwe no people is about to ban the city Museveni n'abagamba nti bazzukulu bange baagala okwokya ekibuga mubakwate temubatokyalenge twogere nabo tubafunira emirimu naye olwokuba balina ekigendererwa gundi ezo zino eza takisi biki I had one of them say they belong to Norway's another one was saying this nambalaba mugundi meetingiza kakati ebifaananyi byavaamu ebifaananyi biri Bulaya byavaamu mubadde mwakawona ebifaananyi ebyali mwaba abaana
mukalulu waneeno mivye jali kati balese okufulumya by elections
Dombo is itching to go to another constituency ebifaananyi ebirala stop Dombo musoke mukwate ku Dombo omuteeka
Dombo bwe buzibu
London waliyo omusajja nga buli yajja ewuwe embwa zimuluma abajja okuleeta amazzi okuleeta kino embwa zibaluma kati omupoliisi amulimu ajjanga ebigoye bamwambazizza ebigoye najja atuukawo embwa zamuluma naye tezatuuka ku fuleezi nabuulira banne n'abaga nti embwa zino zimala kufuna sigino kuva wananyinizo what we should do mumugyewo bwe bajja ogwokubiri okumuleetera abamubanja embwa tezabaluma tegeera nti sekizinywa
yandiba
nebijambi ebyo kubanga olumukutte
olujjako main switch kati wateko waliwo
Dombo alime kulinnya mu constituency yonna and the president should understand these are his own people
babe nyini
babe babikola
tebiva bweru
kakati bote bamanyi and someone not educated kati we are at this I don't know how far he went
sempala
oba yasomera bwa oba wa
sempala kigozi
everybody will be mindful of the international trend human rights is taking center stage
yes
as Museveni works hard to protect the human rights record in Uganda these people who want Museveni not to leave a legacy kubanga bakimanyi if Museveni leaves a legacy he will transfer this legacy to his son
successor
over his success
yes
kakati to destroy the two nene kimideo
alime kubanga atera success agenda okubeera nga mutoga tubakugamba
kubanga to succeed you can quote a number of examples Mubaraka yalimu omwana we gundi yalimu Islam yalimu Kawunda yaleeta brigadier Kawunda mu magye yatta girlfriend we Moyi Major Moyi yali mulalu nnyo Moyi n'atuuka n'okugamba abantu banna that's not a reflection of our family when you want to see the Yakicho Moyi family look at Gideon ng'omwana mukozi wa wa Bashiri
Bushiri
yes but General Park nono mukazi Park owasa gubasiba naye era yali avudde ku kitaawe Kinyata liraizo mu Kinyata ziki yes kakati to benefit Nshikedi you must benefit okufuna a good legacy kakati these people they are undermining Museveni's legacy because they are insiders so that Museveni does not transfer his legacy
to the successor
babe benyini Dombo bebakola ebintu
nze tamani nsonga tugikomyawo naye nga twogera ku nsonga tuva ku nsonga ya court judiciary musajjawo mukwano go David Conner omuzungu musajjawo ow'ettaka pressure muteereddwa pressure muteereddwa kyatupinga ekesi gyera ku mulamuzi Nabaasa
I ask them you poisoned me 5 times if I had died would we be talking to my grave?
No.
You targeted my wife twice abakazi battira abakazi bamutargetinga ne mubina ebiwedde bonna ne mbakwata what if you had killed her I would be looking after orphans
True.
What if you had succeeded by switching off my programs? Would you be talking to me? Bagenda mu YouTube. Ne babasaba $2 million. An American lawyer ajiggalewo. Baba YouTube ne bagana.
Batuka ne
batuukayo ne bajjawo Mutabazi ne baleeta kana akawola akaali keepankira ku jambi yajiggale bakube n'omutwe bagwasa. Kakati nkugamba nti these people are very arrogant. If you come to kill me and I disarm you, should I surrender the gun to you?
No.
Why should a magistrate Nabasa expect this Muzungu to help her to protect her corruption career? Didn't Nabasa know her jurisdiction? Nabasa kagende niba magistrate yabala mubalo yabaga that farm Namayumba is not under her jurisdiction. Did Nabasa expect this Muzungu to keep quiet? Even because of the one who take a Munikazam, Banabana, Abati Abalamus. Nabasa yeti komusala bagu. Yes. Nabasa yagalamu. Never done Muzungu. Did this Uganda lawyers are timid? Because
lawyer justice they want to win the case in the marriage kugundi nangu mulimo chitufu. Lawyers fear to touch the judges the wrong way. Why? Okay. In Africa, a smart lawyer, a good lawyer in Europe knows the law. Yes. But in Uganda, a smart lawyer takes a judge for lunch. All of their cases, they are not enumerated. Whatever mulamuzi yachitia. Omulamuzi yagamba kankotinge mulamuzi munnange kyeyakola eyatula yanga case teyali ya jurisdiction teyabusala neyadduka kubanga abakozesa Nabasa niwo n'abatya naye bwe kibanga ekitongole kiramuzi anti they have destroyed Museveni's image. Obunyidolo obukitiibwa kusamubirenga ate omugobye anagendo batuyambako
kankohoza oba owunyeddolo yennyini kisakye yamukuba n'amukunamya ne judgment tesalwanga
kati tuddewo.
I had an arrogant man. So when I was talking to Edwin, I told him that some people are trying to behave as if they're more important than us. That's why the judge, the question was bemangu okwasa omutwe okuteeka mu nyumba nga kati muweebasi. They are destroying the Museveni's legacy. Battejaabo byebali bakiri nti oyo gundi Kiwanuka akola mu kyebaza Edwin n'awandiika n'agamba nti omulamuzi w'Emasindi kye yakola si kituufu kani ate ne Jeno talk about a case. Are you a judge? No. You kudduka fenga wetuli tetulinga nfudu tukweka mutwe babayisa mbitooke by'omuti nga namumudduka nga abasooka musinga abakyolya amaanyi wano. Destroy whatever Museveni has done.
Okay.
Yes, then destroy it because of selfish interest, short-term strategies. Mutuli kimu.
Mzee Tamale.
Tetubasekerera busekerezi tugenda kudduka.
Wayogera kusamba generator wane juzi. Naye yavuddeyo n'agamba Geno Muhoozi Rugaba nti abakulu mu magye bani baddenga abamusupporting okuba nti akula bani baddenga naye alabirako ate bali mu mulwana
anti kankubuulira
bamwemusa okuba nti avayo okuba nti
that is not, you see, the Ugandan army has not yet graduated from a guerrilla army to a professional army. This is which can cause us trouble. Nga tukoze a military fed wound, a joint military wound. We can only stop at joint operations and we retain our
we can make a joint army.
In Kenya, for example, if you remain at one rank for 3 years, the military does not have anything to do with you.
Hey,
you retire.
You retire?
Yes.
3 years to
yes.
Okay.
2, the soldiers in Kenya, the military in Kenya know if this army commander comes from the infantry, the second one will come from the Navy, the other one will come from the Air Force.
Oh.
Yes, okay. They have a joint bond. wano president bwe yakikola nti buli kitongole kirina chief of staff yes command wano waggulu. Two, you have a tenure for 2 years. Kakati the problem is nti abamaje ba Uganda tebavaawo tebabera mu retirement waliwo erinnya Kano lyegattibwa Kasirye Gwamba nga linnya lyafuuka linnya lye, waliwo Kayanja lyafuuka Meja Kayanja nga linnya lye Meja. Kakati what does it mean? Any institution must absorb, discard.
Okay.
Because it's civil service.
Okay.
Because military
people come in,
changes.
People go out.
In fact, in America, the generals sit down and make a plan, a military plan strategy, and ask the civilian government to give them money. But also they have a role. An equivalent of our commander, Yayogera Jomo America, Naganti with Nalabanga Trump. Atabusa omutwe nuclear buttons nazimujjako nezitereka, and I had to assure the Chinese tinze nzirina. How strong the military is in this country. But most of them are highly educated. Kakati the problem, there is a struggle between abakuba embundu mu Luweero n'abasomi. It's a confrontation. Yes. General Museveni saved these generals. Why? By creating a Shimaka. Because I told you when we went to Ethiopia, when we were assembling in Nigeria, Somalia, the late Nyakayima was asked. Uganda is contributing 3,000 soldiers, the largest contingent. Who is going to be the commander? Nyakayima said, for us in Uganda, we don't mind who commands. We are doing these things for Pan-Americanism. But what from Nigeria, you go for Masas. It is a military principle. A country that contributes to the largest continent produces the commander. The commander of NATO must be an American general. The standard weapon of NATO must be an American weapon. Yes. But why did Nyakayima say this? We did not have generals at that time. But general wakwata kago. Ngaba tuwe banyumia. Mr. Mirundi, I don't remember you seeing at the campus. When we were at the campus. Neriyo baba naberanga ndi attached ku university hall kakati oli ayinza okwogera miche y'abawala ng'ate mulezi kakati commanding nga mutudde bajjeno babuuza we were at the Thunder House, we were at the college kuba balina college zibabeeramu nti gye wagenda kati I think this is what Muhoozi is facing. Muhoozi yes, this is why Mwanga faced the rebellion from the matters. One of the factors that caused this trouble, bali bayigirize nga bagenda mbazungu ne basoma. Kati like a new person yakayiga okusoma. Batandika okukyali nga bana abatamanyi Luzungu. Okay. Hapo tusomerwa amakayi. Tusomerwa amapeera. Kakati bano baba kati bakyababala. The army, it is history. Nti waliwo anyumya olutalo n'anyumya erugogo n'alumya emundu we yavuga Katonga. Twakuba emundu we Katonga wano. Kakati Katonga bali abasajja booli nabo bajjeno tebamanyi Katonga. Kakati onyumya nabo ki. So this is a conflict. These are labor pains for reduce a proper army. I don't expect two. He must be firm. Did he expect the charge bearers to read? The Baganda have a good proverb, but which is obscene, but I can make it to look better. Muganda tells you that if you are cleaning the lower part of a human being and you smell a stench and you run away, did you expect the powdered air? Hey, go he must move with his generation. By the time I told Kasirye Gwamba, Kasirye Gwamba yavumanga nnyo yafene Muhoozi until I went to him. Ne muganda naitwa Kivuumanyi Muhoozi. Baali bamulimbye nti ennyumba Muhoozi yagyagala. Eye Makindi. So nga Buganda Land Board yegitunda. Kati Kaweesa ne Katumba Wamala we are misled to believe nti ennyumba ya
General Muhoozi yagyagala.
Nti ennyumba sister wa wakibaki president yajagala which was wrong. Eyo ennyumba yali ya musajja mujaluwo yattanga abantu mu Naire Manson nga bamuleese wano mujaluwo. I knew him yavuganga gundi bitano munya ya yero. I went to Kasiri Gwanga. Ne muga Kasiri Gwanga 1 tukoledde president ebbanga lino. Why don't we go to the president and ask him ennyumba agikusasula, which he did. Kasiri bamusa ne muga gino emizinga gy'oletaano bw'onoofa bajja gijjawo. I went ahead Kasiri yanvumanga ng'abemmengo bamukozesa okunvuma na bano abaana. Kakati Kasiri bwe yafa we bamuziika wali challenged. Bali bagala kumujjawo. I don't want a lawyer, but I helped Kasiri Gwanga to talk to the people who own that land. Nemba sendike wantu bagule. Kati bano ababbi bwe bategeera bali mu gavumenti bwe bategeera nti president yagala gulawo ne badira ekyapa ne bakitwalewo agunto nakulira ebyabafuyani
ali misajeno
ne bakikweka ayiranga him. I'm a political activist. I'm a supporter of Museveni. The president has promised this family this land, produce that title immediately. And he produced it. What is delaying his payment? But I told Kasiri Gwanga, no, don't blame Muhoozi. By the time Muhoozi becomes a general to command, you do have retired long time. Go if I accept to be an advisor, it means I will be under minister of presidency. Yes. Okuja kongo advisor obaje mu minister of the presidency ne badda ku president himself. A man who is write a memo to the president, write his excellency the president, civil minister on charge, but let us waivers. I cannot. Yes, I safeguard myself early. Nti kakati Baba Balanda is respectable. I used to Baba Balanda is going to be there all the time. Nti Amelia Chamba, a former principal, private secretary, former minister. Nti what's the way to want to conquer Baba Balanda to the world? So that's the problem. Muhoozi should not expect the church bells.
I know Subiren Koko.
I know Subiren Koko.
So the
good thing he has people like me.
Yes, stand by generation.
The better people think that I talk to him. Never mistake. So get a night. I have never talked to Muhoozi face to face.
Where is the love we vow? Jeno Moskane Rogaba. Yavune na government ya omukuru kale kayihura asonyibwe bwabanga yakola emisango naye muntu
kayihura yakola misango
asonyibwe atumute
okutta abantu malwaliro okutta abakazi bali I have evidence with the phone numbers out. These people the problem they are doing they undermine you are lucky that you have a president who keeps his head in the refrigerator. That's one of the reasons I support this young man. Nti twetaaga omuntu akopye Museveni. Singa Museveni yattanga abantu n'abamalawo. Bwe nalaba teepu gye bankoledde n'enkuuta ku buleezi buno ne tusinkana Nakalema mu lifuti efulumya omulambo. Asooka okukuba munne essasi yamutta. N'oleeta teepu mu maaso ga pulezidenti. Abusing him. Kali katutwale. Nalinko yondinko. Nikusinkana gwe kasajja gwe ngendo n'enkwasa. Nkuttirawo gwe. Wani bazika tampeko yevu nasanga kono disease kajawo programu zankakole nakugamba okutta abantu kakati if you do not have a full-headed president me I don't blame him naye abaganda balina polobabu nti kabaka tatta abasakiriza you mislead him like they misled him that Nufu was going to burn the city. Which was useless. You ended up tarnishing our image. 24 so many whites or fake. They gave Museveni fake reports. Kakati nkubira the gun, neka kula tibyaliyo. But you know what Kayihura's influence. I said the first time I saw Kayihura, I found him in the bush and he was an ADC of Sale. Sale, after realizing that I was trembling, but while Mukizimbe Chije come about, Kayihura, give this man, the city boy, a cup of warm coffee and a military jacket. That was my first time to see Kayihura. Kayihura, mukalulu kabiri 11 yakasigala mu bwomu nga badduse. Kayihura single-handedly
yakakanya okutu
bonanga bekwese nga balowooza kigudde.
Yes.
Ne badduka. Nadda mu bagundi mu baki, nadda mu bano, n'akola ki? Kayihura nga genda obuuza ab'NRM. When Kaigula was still Inspector General of Police, he could help an NRM person to get out of, especially in fabricated cases.
Yes.
Or when NRM Mutava Mukomera, the opposition Alivam. You ask people.
Okay.
Yes. Kaigula was everywhere. But Malice.
Kaigula mwenyini nyini yavuddeyo n'asaba era ne yasabye ekitongole kiramuzi kidukize bamukkiriza asobole okuba nga practicinga akatebe afuuke
Kaigula told me when I found him at Kasagama. He told me this is the first Christmas I have enjoyed, but he enjoyed me a very complicated decision. As you people used to go to villages, I will remain here.
Yeah, yes.
Because the Muslim is even if he has a bullet, he will fall. That's what Kaigula told me. I'm now having a time. Yalita ina kayumba nduza kalinga kabasavea. Nanga neyi nyumba yange ujola bali ku mortgage. Ya loan.
Okay.
Bano bayinza okugeeza okubba. Bino kale bayina okubba akagulupu kaabo. Buli wali sente. Ne bazibajjawo. Ayi snakes. Kubba everywhere. Fe twajja kubaanikira ttana kubasigayo bwabo bugabwangatto. Naffe twajja kulya. Politics is eating.
Okay.
Yes, terayira kukkiriza. Kaigula yalina okukubwa baleete cameras. Security cameras. I told Kaigula. The moment they buy security cameras, you go. That's why he has compiled a lot of hatred. Now we would advise those who are handling his affairs. But we would differ with Zimbabwe and Duka. Abantu banjogeddwa nnyo obulenzi buno bajja bbakuba babuttirewo. Kakati having gone through it, I sympathize with Kaigula. But it should not stop at Kaigula alone.
Okay.
Malice, all of those people have been affected by malice. Look what a man like Ingrid Yandala, Tabaga Kurugudu Katusi. Obulenzi abo bwe bwalumba. Kalwala no disease. Bwe bwalumba.
Okay.
He's poor. So hard to settle his assets.
Yes.
A man who picked from his home, no sang omukazi nga nasali, talina mwana. Munomuga nti yabbye ssente. Nti bwe yali mu Ministry of Education 9 years ago, yaleka bbye 45 million nga bazibbye basatu. Ne bakwata omukazi, ne bateeka mu kkomera. Ne kesi etebeeranga cleared. Ani gwe batayoze? N'osanga musajja nga Nsubuga, bamuyitani ono Nsubuga, eyali mu police, was the first one to market the removal of the 75-year cap. Kakati singa kyuma kya Yesu yakuba Nsubuga n'amwasa omutwe mwalirabirira abaana be. Olaba ne katalina mulimu. Can cabinet fail to find a job for Nsubuga?
Ne kasanda gye yagenda okwesiga kyagaana.
Era baamukuba. Ako kaali komutumye. Okola lwala nodding disease kaali kamutumye ne million 6 mbw azimbe. Naye tujjayo ennyundo. Kakati is languishing there.
Nga tusiibula.
So the attitude, it should cut across.
Okay.
Our friend was to convince his father to extend the reconciliation process.
Kubantu bonna
abajogeddwa makomera because that was their words.
Okay.
Nti gundi Lukwago bamuwa obutwa. Lukwago ne bagoba Ministry ya Health bajja batiremu abantu. Akula ali mu jahannama wano. Nena kalima bwajja okgenda. Lwaki Kayonja tamusalira naawe? Buli muntu ayagalanga okula mu sayidi nga awasiza wa Kayanja. Lwaki Kayonja bye namwebasa ku ttaka. So to me, I'm angry.
Okay.
When you see the volcano burning inside me, you
soon erupting.
Bukuba amawulire ne bukwonoona kwenkwata kuli bye tuttingana ne Kabusenga. Yes. Abali nkugamba. This reconciliation should be done by the president. He has to extend the way he did it to these senior advisors.
Okay.
He will be catered for. Mujja kubeera mu life ennungi nakyo very good as he retiring.
Okay.
He's preparing his side. So bw'olaba naffe tukubye obwana buno tetwagala busemberere gendereza yaffe bujja gibbamu waya. Buno bwana bujja kuyigiza omwana okubba enva n'ottira abantu n'obatunda. Obwana buno twagala obugoye obupya obubeere nga tubugyewo omwana yeyalire bulungi.
Nze ngenda saba kulaba abawagizi babagobedde ebbanga lyonna tugenda mu festive season baweyo ka message akasembayo olunaku olwaleero gwomanyi festive season gyetugendamu abawagizi bo bakakagama okubagamba
ate mbagamba ki buli omu yenna kakati mumugenda nemugamba nti omwenge omwenge tegwonoona muntu omwenge gwonoona mwavu. Yes, understand the issue I was explaining to one of my wives. ne mugamba nti ffe twali baana bato nga basiba n'amatooke mu Gwomunaana ng'omwenge gubaawo Ssekukkulu engoye kati tompeeka ngoye no kubanga bagulira olugoye ng'omwana waagula liweetenga ne bagulira olugoye ku ki kakati abakazi ab'emmisa emberebe ey'ekiro baasomanga ki nga be bambala engoye enkadde kakati ng'ab'emisana be bagulidde engoye balage sinza kukyeyiri that's why mu bizinesi tebakyatunda bw'oba oleeta ennyama ogiseere buli omu agimanyidde kati luli batukubanga ne enema bw'olowooza enkoko oziseere zibalya buli lunaku ekipesizi nkoko yennyama yeri cheapest kakati bw'olowooza amasuuti nti ojja kutunda nnyo ku Christmas kakati nze buli lunaku ne bwe ngenda kati mu kyaki era nina bensinga kakati ze amasuuti gaye gonna gakwe era batukamba Sunday has put on his Sunday best tulina daily best. The market must change. Don't blame Museveni for poverty. You look what the changing trend of Christmas. The previous trying Christmas cards. That's why you take a Christmas tree. Message ejira kusimu. Kakati the Christmas card is akolachi. Look what the trend of these things. Nti ndo chokola baapo wala ne babwa. Abantu baguze ndowooza banagula ku nedda. Abantu ndowooza ku Christmas bana nedda. Abantu bajja kugula ku Easter nedda. Bane Museveni atusiza obwavu. No. You look at home. What are you going to eat at Christmas which you have not eaten? Chichi. That's why in Europe, bo sekoko zebalya ku Christmas. Why? This is where the families come together. But what else? What else? Is a day for 24 hours. So you receive a government Christmas but when you say it depends on how organized. What my message is, about be sent to government.
Yes.
Them 7 years. A voter is like a prostitute. A prostitute states how much money she wants.
Yes.
It is a stupidity and foolhardy to rape a prostitute. Voter ayagala. We are not new in government. No. Museveni used to win. NRM used to win freely.
Yes.
No because they need go.
Sikina kubanga nsuko ngina kuba mbeereza bali balungi nga
unalinoga president yeba kavueko talifuga kwanga n'okubba okubira obwa president
mwana mwana majonna bulime
assalamu
alaikum wa rahmatullahi
wa barakatuh.